Eala nails maiden WTA 125 title after Guadalajara Open comeback. Eala shakes off a horrid start against Hungary's Panna Udvardy as the Filipina completes a come-from-behind win in the final of the Guadalajara Open in Mexico. Eala overcame a terrible start and held her nerve in tense moments to clinch her first-ever WTA Challenger crown. Eala completed a come-from-behind 1-6, 7-5, 6-3 win over Hungary's Panna Udvardy to rule the WTA 125 Guadalajara Open in Mexico at the Grandstand Caliente of the Pan American Tennis Center in Zapopan on Saturday, September 6, Sunday, September 7, Manila time. In a match that took 2 hours and 30 minutes to finish, the 20-year-old Filipina dug deep as she captured the biggest title yet of her career. The WTA 125 or WTA Challengers is the second highest level in women's competition, only below the top-tier WTA Tour, which includes the Grand Slams, WTA Finals, WTA 1000, WTA 500, and WTA 250 events. After a swift opening set that saw Udvardy break serve 4 times, Eala battled back and raced to a 5-3 lead in the second set, winning an extended 8th game marked by 3 deuces. Udvardy pulled level at 5-5, but Eala regained the upper hand at 6-5, then saved 4 break points in the 12th game to force a third and last set. It was all Eala from there as she won all of her 4 service games in the deciding set and broke Udvardy in the final game, her backhand return that sailed past the 26-year-old Hungarian wrapping up the match. Eala redeemed herself in her second final appearance this year after she settled for a runner-up finish in the WTA 250 Eastbourne Open in the United Kingdom, where she suffered a heartbreaking 3-set loss to Australia's Maya Joint in June. Currently ranked number 75 in the world, Eala also got back at Udvardy 5 months since she lost to the same foe in the round of 16 of the WTA 125 Oeiras Open in Portugal in April. Their head-to-head record now stands at 1-1. Eala topped the Guadalajara Open 2 weeks after she made history in the US Open as the first Filipino to win a Grand Slam main draw match in the Open era following her first-round upset of Denmark's Clara Tauson. In Mexico, Eala beat Ariane Hotono of the Netherlands, Nicole Fossa-Wergo of Italy, and Varvara Lepchenko and Kayla Day of the United States in the earlier rounds to reach the final. Eala's triumphant comeback win at the Guadalajara Open, where she clinched her maiden WTA 125 title. This piece blends storytelling, sports drama, and emotional depth to celebrate her journey and achievement. Rising Sun, Eala's breakthrough in Guadalajara. The sun was high over Guadalajara, painting the clay courts in molten gold. The crowd murmured in anticipation, some shading their eyes, others waving miniature Philippine flags. On the far side of the court, a figure stood tall, not in stature, but in spirit. Eala adjusted her visor, her racket gripped firmly in hand, and stared down her opponent. Her heartbeat was steady, though the gravity of the moment pressed against her chest like a coiled spring. This wasn't just a match. This was the match. It had been a long road to this WTA 125 final, one paved with late-night flights, early morning practices, losses that felt like heartbreaks, and wins that never quite seemed enough. Eala had danced on the fringes of greatness for years, her name whispered in international circles as the next Filipino tennis star. But greatness, she had learned, didn't come with whispers. It came with storms. And today, she was ready to make noise. Before the breakthrough. Long before she ever set foot in Guadalajara, was already something of a prodigy. A girl who, at 12, carried a country's hopes like a feather on her shoulder. By 15, she was making waves in junior Grand Slams, collecting titles and headlines. But transitioning to the WTA Tour was another beast entirely. The competition was fiercer. The margins slimmer. Every player had claws. 4 years, she hovered outside the elite ranks, close enough to taste it, never close enough to own it. She learned to live with the pressure. Not erase it, but repurpose it, bend it into fuel. What kept her going wasn't just ambition. It was legacy. Tennis wasn't just about rankings for her. It was about representation. Every time she stepped on the court, she knew she wasn't just playing for herself. She was playing for the Philippines, for the girls watching from dusty neighborhood courts in Manila, from sun-baked barrios in Cebu, from classrooms where dreams were scribbled in notebooks alongside math equations. Guadalajara, the turning point. No one saw her coming. Entering the Guadalajara Open, Eala wasn't among the top-seeded names. She was ranked outside the top 150, respected, yes, but not feared. But match by match, she began to unravel expectations. First-round nerves gave way to second-round confidence. By the quarter-finals, her forehand was a weapon of precision, her backhand a surgeon's blade. In the semifinals, she faced a former top 50 player, seasoned, experienced, and twice her age. The first set slipped from Alex's hands like sand, 3-6. But she rallied. With the calm of a veteran and the fire of a fighter, she clawed back, 6-4, 6-2. The crowd took notice. So did the tennis world. And then came the final. The final, one last mountain. It wasn't easy. Finals never are. Her opponent was ruthless, aggressive from the first serve, trying to dictate the rhythm, trying to push Alex to the edge of the court and out of her comfort zone. Eala lost the opening set, 4-6. But something in her eyes didn't blink. It wasn't desperation. It was belief. "I've been here before," she whispered to herself. "I didn't come this far to come this far." In the second set, Alex played like a woman possessed. Her shots were deep, her footwork electric. Each point was a miniature war, and she was winning the skirmishes. The crowd began chanting her name, some unsure of the pronunciation, but all drawn to her grit. 6-3. The match was tied. The final set was poetry and battle intertwined. Rallies stretched like elastic, each shot testing the limits of endurance and will. At 5-4, Alex earned her first match point. The stadium leaned in. Her opponent sent a high topspin ball to her backhand, and Alex, cool as dawn, struck a cross-court winner that kissed the line. Game, set, match, Alex Eala. After the roar, she didn't scream. She didn't drop to her knees. She simply looked up to the sky, eyes glistening, hands trembling around her racket. 1,000 images flashed in her mind of early mornings at the Rafa Nadal Academy, of her mother lacing up her tennis shoes as a child, of rain-soaked practices in Manila, of all the times she wanted to quit but didn't. Reporters would later call it a comeback, a breakthrough, a career-defining win. But to Alex, it was something else entirely. It was validation. Not of her talent, that was always there, but of her resilience. Of her decision to chase something so difficult, so consuming, yet so beautiful. Of her refusal to settle for being the future when she could be the now. Homeward echoes. Back in the Philippines, the win rippled across news screens and social media feeds. Schools paused to replay the final moments. Coaches in local clubs nodded in admiration. Young girls stood a little taller, holding their rackets a little tighter. "She did it," they whispered. "And maybe, we can too." Alex had become more than a champion. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share. Till next time.